Good morning. Hope everyone's doing well. It's nice to see the same people every time. That's great. There's a lot of people in this class, but there's a lot of the same people that come every time, and that's a great thing. Well, it is 7:30. It's actually 7:31 by my computer. And in the polling, you may notice that I'm just asking, have you signed up for the test yet? That is a district expectation that you test. If there's anyway, that is a district expectation. We'll just leave it there. But what we're trying to do today is I made a very short review, and I can also tell you guys that the first test is only 5 questions, so it's not going to take you that long at the school most likely. So kind of keep that in mind. Like you'll have that test, and I don't know if you're going to take any other tests at the same time, but it is only 5 questions. So I would hate to see like your parent drop you off and then they get home, you're like, okay, pick me up. So it probably won't take you that long. So what I did is I made a review, and the review is going to kind of help us do better on the test, I'm hoping. And so let's see, share screen. So I have this little review out here, and it's kind of hard to find because I have things out of order today on purpose. So here's today, it's the review. And then I'll also add that I'm supposed to cover what's on the 22nd, but it is not on the test, but it is still good to know for like the ACT. So what I am covering Tuesday, you do not need to know to be successful on the test. So after today, anytime after today, you should be able to go in, take that test, and get a good score. Let's go ahead and get started. My review is only 5 questions, and it's located under, no, that's Tuesday. Try again. Today's only Friday, so September 18th. And there's not much on this page because I wanted to give you a day to review, get caught up. So you can see there's no discussion, there's no quiz. All it really is on here is my testing schedule. And then ignore where it says hybrid. None of you are hybrid. I just have my Algebra 2 classes as the same class. And then I'll upload this video, and then here is the review. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so I went ahead and printed it out to make it easier. And as we're doing this, I am going to not always show you the mathematical approach. I am going to sometimes show you the test taking strategy approach. And so some of the strategies that you should know how to use when you're taking a test is back solving, being able to like plug in the answers. All of those are very useful. And also I want to add that on the district test, it is my understanding that you have access to Desmos. So you should have that tool. And so what that means is, and I may not do this one in order, let's do, we could do this in order. We got plenty of time. So sales for a business were $3 million more the second year than the first. And sales for the third year were double the sales for the second year. If sales for the third year were 38 mil, what were sales in millions of dollars for the first year? Wow, that's a lot going on, and it could scare kids. You do have the answer choices. So let's see. What are they asking me? What were sales for the first year? That's what they want to know. So let's set up some variables. They're talking about the first year, the second year, the third year. So we'll let X equal sales the first year. We'll let Y equal sales the second year. And we'll let Z be sales the third year. Okay, and these will all be in millions, because I don't feel like writing down millions. I mean, that's just going to take too much time. So that's all in millions. So we know this. I'll work backwards. The sale for the third year was 38 million. So I know this is, well, I like to go front to back. Sales for, I'll start from here. Sales for a business were $3 million more the second year than the first. So if I take the amount of sales the first year and I add 3, I get the second year. So second year is Y. So my first equation is the sales the second year is 3 million more than the first. That's another way of saying it. The sales for the second year was 3 million more than the first. Sales for the third year, okay, third year is Z, were, sales for the third year were double the sales of the second year. So sales of the third year were double the sales of the second year. Second year is Y. And then they tell us one of the variables, they tell us that the third year was 38 million. So working backwards, I know Z is 38, so I can put 38 in here. 38 equals 2 times what? Two times 19, so I got Y is 19. And now I could plug in here to find the X, so 19. 19 equals 3 plus what? 16. So that'd be X is 16. And then I can't remember what they asked. They said sales the first year. Sales the first year is X, that'd be 16. So notice this is an example of 3 variables, but they gave us one of the Z values. Yeah, I'm actually going to skip the football question for now. I want to make sure I cover one problem each type. There's only 5 problems, by the way, on my review. So let's take a break from the word problem, come back to it. So let's say you have no idea how to do this. It's possible, okay? These take up a whole page. They take a lot of work. If you know how to do it by hand, I encourage you to do it by hand. But notice that they give us X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. So in theory, you could just plug them in and see if it works. Okay. So I kind of need more room here. I should have left myself more room when I printed this. So what I mean is I'm going to plug this in. And so let's do this one first. That's 2 times -1. And I'm plugging in -1 for X, 1 for Y, -4 for Z. 2 times -1 is -2. Plus 1, -2 plus 1 is -1. And then -3 times 4 is 12. So you got -1 plus 12 is 11. So that could work. Let's plug in the other one. 1, 3, -2. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. And then -3 times -2 is 6. 5 plus 6 is 11. Well, that one could work too. Let's try the third one. 3, 8, 1. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. And then you take 3 times 1 is 3. So you got 14 minus 3 is 11. Dang, that could work too. Finally, 2 times 2, I'm plugging this one in. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus negative 3 is 1. That'd be 0. 1 plus 0 is not 11. So all I've done so far is eliminated that D is definitely not the answer. Now, that does not mean that A, B, and C is a solution to the system. It means that A, B, and C is a solution to the first one. So now let's check the second one. So now I'm going to plug into this one. And I'm going to start with A. So it's negative 1 would be 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. Negative 16 plus 3 is not negative 3, so it's not this one. Plugging in 1, 3, negative 2. That'd be negative 1 plus 2 times 3 is 6 plus negative 8. So I already forgot what I said. Negative 1 plus 6 would be 5. And then plus negative 8. That would be negative 3. So that could be it. And then let's try 3, 8, 1. Negative 3 plus 16. Negative 3 plus 16 is 13. 4 times 1 is 4. Take 4 plus 1. That's not negative 3. So it's not this one. So I just found that most likely this is the answer. Just for my own confidence, I'm going to plug it into the last one. So that'd be 1. And then minus 5 times 3, I'm plugging in this. 1 minus 5 times 3 is 15. 1 minus 15 is negative 14. And then 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. Negative 14, negative 4, negative 18. Okay, I just found it. The answer is B. So that method is called backsolving. And I want you to notice that there were 3 of them that worked for the first one. And whenever people make tests, they do that on purpose because they know that kids are probably just going to go, oh, okay, it's that one, then move on. So always plug it into all 3. Any questions on that one? No? Okay, so I see 2 people's heads. They both shake their head no. If you have a question, just type it in the chat box. All right. Solve the following given that Z is negative 4. Well, they told me one of the answers. And so this is an example of a system, 3 equations, 3 variables, but they helped me out. They told me Z is negative 4. So I'm going to rewrite these with negative 4 in there. So this would be 2x plus 3y plus 7 times negative 4 is 3. And then 4x minus 5y minus 3, but I know Z is negative 4, and I'm actually going to put that in parentheses. I think it looks nicer. And then 5x minus 3y plus negative 4 is 21. So what have I done so far? I've said, I see Z is negative 4. They told me that, so I could go ahead and plug it in. That's all I've done so far. From there, I would simplify. So let's see, this one, let's see, 7 times negative 4 is negative 28. This one, negative 3 times negative 4 would be 12. I'm sorry, negative 3 times negative 4 is positive 12. And then finally, this one, I guess I could just rewrite as 5x minus 3y minus 4 is 21. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Also, I see that I have a constant here and here. So I'm going to add 28 to both sides. Here I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Here I'm going to add 4 to both sides. And so then what I would get now and again, all I'm doing is putting the negative 28 with the 3. So I'm adding 28 to both sides. That'd be 31. Here I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. That'd be 17. And then here I'm going to add 4 to both sides. That'd be 25. Okay, now this is getting very interesting because I have 3 equations with x's and y's. I only need 2 of those to solve this. Wouldn't it be 7, not 17? I really appreciate it if you caught me on a mistake. 7, not 17. Where did I get? Thank you so much. You are right. 19 minus 12 is 7. Thank you. That just saved us some time. So I appreciate you guys following along. And normally in a classroom setting, if I write down the wrong number, kids just say, hey, write down the right number. But in a virtual zone, sometimes kids are too quiet. So I appreciate that. Let me think. Which of these 2 do I want to pair together? Probably not these 2, because that's 4, 5, 5, 3. These 2 would be 2, 5, 4, 3. I'm kind of leaning toward the first 2. So I'm going to decide to just use these 2. And I'm gonna elect, you know what? Why am I doing this? So now from here, I'm going to type in those 2. Actually, I'll type in all 3 equations and you'll see what they look like. You can solve these using elimination, but I'm trying to show you, I guess, the fastest way. Typing it in, 2x plus 4y is 31. 4x minus 5y is 7. What's the other one? 5x minus 3y is 25. Well, so see the problem here? Like they intersect there, there, and there. And so what that tells me, I need to go back and look at my problem one last time. Oh, another chat. You put 4 instead of 3y on the first one. Thank you so much. So now we're going to go back there. No. Oh, you mean when I was writing it down? Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So they're saying when I copy this down, I put, it's supposed to be 3y. I put 4y. That's a 3. I wish I need a darker pen. I had a black pen somewhere. Yeah, that's supposed to be a 3. Now let's go type that in. Thank you so much. Now, because see the problem when I typed this in, all 3 lines didn't intersect. So I was like, there's got to be an issue. Ah, there it is. Looky there. So now it makes sense. So now I know X is 8, Y is 5, and they already told me my Z. So notice I put this in order of X, Y, Z. They told me the Z. I just found my X and my Y. For the test, look, I've seen your homework. I know you know how to use elimination and substitution. I could see that. Feel free to use Desmos. Do not feel bad about using Desmos. It's there. I just will say on the ACT, you cannot use Desmos, so it's good to know how to do it without Desmos too. All right. Excellent. A problem like this, I look at it and I go substitution, and actually I kind of go elimination. So if it were me, I would eliminate the Y's. That's how I would solve this. However, since we're talking about Desmos, let's just solve it that way. So I go type it in. Delete these. Negative, and I'll even make sure I type it in correctly. How's that? And then I helped the kid the other day. They didn't realize that you could drag this and like zoom in and out just using like the mouse. But look, solution, -2, -5, I'm done. Just like that. Now they said, what's the solution for X? So here's X. They don't care about Y, so I'd say J, done. No reason why any of you should miss a problem like that. All right, let's at least start the football question. I don't know if we'll finish. In their first football game, Hunter High, and I always read the question first. That's always my first step, read the question. They defeated Booker High by 21 points. In their rematch, Hunter scored 14 more points than in game 1, and again won by 21 points. The sum of Booker High scores for the 2 games was 28 points. How many points did Hunter score in game 1? Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. The sum of Booker High scores for the 2 games. So we'll let X equal the score for Booker. And there's not just one way to solve this. For the first game, and we'll let Y be the score for Booker for second game. So the first thing I see is that the sum of Booker High scores for the 2 games is 28. So my first equation would be X plus Y is 28. Because it says the sum of Booker High scores for the 2 games is 28. Yeah. Now in their first football game, Hunter High defeated Booker High by 21 points. So I might need another variable. We'll let A equal score for Hunter. The first game. And we'll let B equal score for Hunter. Second game. And you don't have to define all these variables. Probably you could probably just sit there and think about it. But for me, I like to have everything written out, even if you can't read it. Okay. So in their first football game, so we're talking about A and X. That's the first game for both. Hunter High defeated Booker High by 21 points. So if you take Booker's score and add 21, you get Hunter's points. Let's see, Hunter was A. That'd be 21 plus B. No, 21 plus X. This just means the score for Hunter's first game was 21 more than the score for Booker the first game. And then in their rematch, Hunter scored 14 more points. In their rematch, Hunter scored 14 more points than in game one. And again won by 21 points. How to put that together? And I can tell you on the test, it isn't this involved. I got this question off the ACT in case you're curious. Let's see. In their rematch, Hunter scored 14 more points than in game one. Well, that's kind of nice because I could change this. This would be A plus 14. So I don't, that kind of eliminates a variable because they scored 14 more than game one. And then the second match, they again won by 21 points. So their second match, they still won by 21 points. But I know now that B is A plus 14. Okay. And then they're asking how many points did Hunter score in game one? So all they really want is X. Can I solve this anywhere? I have XY, AX, AY. Okay. So, because this is X, and this is Y, and I got A and Y, there's multiple ways to solve this. I'm trying to think of what would be the easiest to do in 2 minutes. Let's see. Probably at this point, just because there's a lot going on, I might just plug in. So how many points, and you can finish this algebraically. I'm just only have a minute here and I don't want to spend longer than I say. So let's try 26 equal to Hunter game one. Hunter game one. So that'd be A. Let's see if that works when A is 26. Well, when A is 26, 21 plus 5, that'd be 5. And then you would have 26 plus 14 is 40. And then you'd have 21 plus what? 19. So 19 plus 5 would be 24. And then plugging in 28 for A, which I think is going to be the answer. I'd get 28, and then I'd have 21 plus what is 28, so I'd say x is 7. And then 7 plus what's 28, that'd be 21, so y would be 21. And then let's see if it works here. 28 plus 14 is what? 42. And then 21 plus 21, 42. So I know the answer is G. I could have finished this using systems of equations, but I chose at this point just because there's only 2 minutes left to just solve by plugging in. All right, I could say that the word problem on the test is not that difficult, but our time has expired. I need to get on to the Zoom office hours, and I wish you all best on the test and hope you all have a good weekend. Feel free to sign off.